Hi, my name is Amanda and I'm a freshman at the University of Maryland College Park. And this is the story of how my roommates almost ruined my first semester. So, firstly, I just wanted to say that this story actually kind of really reminds me of Mean Girls, which is kind of depressing because Mean Girls is a movie and it takes place in high school, not college. When I came to college, I thought that it'd be better than high school, and every single day I wish I was back at high school. And high school was a very inclusive place for me, and it's crazy how college is worse because everyone always says that college is better. Anyway, so I'll start from the beginning. It all started on July 20th, I think, when I found out that I'd be rooming with Sarah and Emily. And when I first saw that, I immediately knew that this was not going to be amazing as I'd hoped. I contacted Sarah in April or something when I realized that I was gonna commit to the university, and I asked her if she maybe wanted to talk and see if she wanted to be roommates or whatever, and she said that she already had a roommate and she already requested someone. So when I found out that I would be rooming with her, I was like, but I thought she already had someone else, and I was going to be rooming with them. From the start, they always did everything together. They pooped together, and they showered together, they ate together, they weren't exactly entirely inclusive. And that's okay. I understand that, they're best friends. But, just think about how I feel always being the odd person out and never feeling welcome in my room. They excluded me from the start, of course. And from the beginning, they told people that I was uptight. Well, I'm sorry for not drinking or partying. It's my choice. It's like vegetarianism or religion. It's who I am. If you're gonna judge me for that, okay, but know that you're wrong for doing that. I'm sorry for being who I am. Also, from the beginning, Emily happens to be a really loud person, and you know what? I'm okay with that, I'm a quiet person. Her being loud is different than I am, but I'm not going to judge her for that. But when it inflicts on my living, when it prevents me from going to sleep at 2 a.m., because in the beginning she had this thing with this guy in some college, so it was long distance, so she would Skype him, and I understand that. I am totally understanding of the fact that she missed him, wanted to Skype him, etc. But when you're Skyping until 3 a.m. and your roommate wants to sleep and you see her going into bed, getting ready to sleep, it would be nice if you had some common sense and thought, oh, maybe I should take this into the stairwell or something. And in the beginning, it wasn't like I was gonna ask her to do stuff because I felt really, I was shy and nervous, and it's a completely different experience, and I didn't know what to do. So I didn't tell her to be quiet or to go into the stairwell, and since I didn't do it in the beginning, she thought it would be okay to do it for the next 2 months. The second weekend of college, Sarah brought 2 drunk boys into the room at 2 a.m. Emily was at home, so it was just me, and I was asleep. And she don't wake me up. And I was just, I woke up myself when I heard the door opening and 2 really loud drunk boys coming in and stumbling and stuff. And she didn't wake me up, and I was freaking the shit out. This is my second weekend of college, and already there are 2 drunk boys in my room, and they're gonna be sleeping there. So she leaves one of them in that bed. She leaves the other one on the floor and leaves. And I'm lying in bed what the fuck, they're gonna fucking rape me, oh my god. And I was just freaking the shit out, naturally, because I'm an innocent little girl. I've never been in this situation before. Also, from the beginning, they always had this clique of girls on my floor, and occasionally it included some guys, but over the past few weeks, the boys have been excluded. seriously. So there would always be a party going on in my room. And you can't see from this space, but my room is tiny. It's a forced triple, which means that it's meant to be a double, but somehow they decided to put 3 beds in here and stick me in here. So it was just always a party, always late at night. And I didn't know how to say, guys, can you please have fewer people in the room or something like that. Like, I'm shy, and I know that I need to be more assertive, and I used to be so much more assertive before I came to college, but when it's 2 against 1 all the time, and when there are people in the room, and you don't want to be like that weird girl who always wants to break up the party, like, I don't want to have that idea associated with me, although apparently I do, because they talk shit about me behind my back, but at the time I didn't know that. And I always felt like they were judging me for not being like them, for being a bit more messy, or for just being me, for not going out every night. So my mom brought, like, she gave me a knife for food to cut, like, apples and shit. And once, like, Sarah asked, like, to borrow it, and I mean, my family is Jewish, so, and we keep kosher, and the knife itself is kosher, and it's a good freaking knife. So I told her, like, because of religious reasons, but anyway, I told her that because of religious reasons I couldn't let her use it. And apparently she took that the wrong way, because on Twitter she tweeted at someone that I hide it from them, which is not true. I actually left it on my desk. You know, that was just the beginning of everything. And I mean, I would be woken up in the middle of the night because someone would call Emily, and like they were in trouble, and I understand that that's like a bad situation for her to be in because she needs to help her friend, but like at the same time, it'd be nice if she didn't wake me up every single time that she got a phone call at 3 a.m. because she could either whisper or go into the stairwell, which is right outside our room. And I'm not saying that I'm the perfect roommate. I assure you that I am not. I'm not perfect in any way at all. But when I get a phone call, I leave the room, even when it's daytime. Anyway, so this past week was Halloween. And Halloween night, Sarah wanted out to party, and I don't really care. You know what? She can do whatever she wants. I really don't care. But at 3 a.m., I was woken up by Emily because Sarah was about to be raped. And that's scary, and I don't want Sarah to be raped. Of course not. But it would be really nice if Emily had gone into the stairwell. And the phone call was very long. And I asked Emily, like, can you please not wake me up? So the next day, I avoided my room, partially because I needed to study chemistry, and my room is not conducive to studying. I come back, and Sarah talks to me, and she's like, I closed your bag of candy because it was open and we've been getting bugs. Now, we did get a lot of bugs, but I assure you that it wasn't because of my open food, because at the time I didn't have any open food and the window was open. And this is college. The windows are probably shit. I mean, come on. So she blamed me for something that wasn't even my fault. And she also said, I would appreciate it if you closed your food. That's understandable. Okay, I usually close my food. That was once, and it was for like 2 hours. Maybe. So I say, I would appreciate it if I wasn't woken up at 3 a.m. by Emily talking on the phone. And Sarah was like, well, I was about to be raped. And I was like, yes, I understand that, and I'm glad that Emily was able to help you, like, not get raped, but she could have gone into the stairwell or whispered or something. And Sarah was like, well, when you're tired and you're woken up at 3 a.m. by a phone call, you're groggy and you don't want to leave your bed. I'm just like, the fuck? Then also she mentioned how, like, it would be nice if I woke them up from a nap, because, like, the other day, like, we have a same class on Thursdays, and on Thursday I'd come in from a meeting, like, 5 minutes before class. I, like, checked my email, and then I left. And, like, I saw that Sarah was asleep, but I didn't see Emily asleep, because you can't tell when people are in their bunk bed or when they're not. Like right now it kind of looks like someone's up there, but no one is. So I was like, I'm sorry. Like, it's not my responsibility to wake them up when they didn't ask me to wake them up, and when they've been treating me like shit, and when they haven't done anything for me. I needed to move out, and I'd been working on moving out for a really long time, but it never got so serious that I was like, you know what, I'm gonna have to move. But this was just, I couldn't live in a room where I was sure that they hated me and that they would try and make my life a living hell. And college is already a living hell. I don't need my roommates to add to that. This was before I knew what they were saying behind my back. My friend overheard them talking about me. I think it was like Thursday night or something. And this is what they said. They called my shoes ratchet. I'm sorry. Here, do you want to see my shoe? This is a ratchet shoe, apparently. I'm sorry for owning like 3 pairs of Converse and not much else. My family isn't that well off. I can't afford 9 pairs of Uggs like Emily has. Apparently they refer to me as the creature when I'm not around. And so I don't refrigerate my ketchup, and I don't think that's a weird thing, but apparently they do. I'm sorry for being raised differently. My family never refrigerated ketchup, so deal with it. And then I went looking at Sarah's Twitter, and I found a couple of gems. Let me read them to you. So this was the first one that I found that, like, was obviously about me, and this is really disturbing. She tweeted at Emily. Sarah tweeted at Emily, and she said something about, like, this website that I go on with my friends, and, like, that's really, really creepy. Just because my desk faces you doesn't mean that you have a right to look over my shoulder and see what I'm doing, and I have a right to privacy, and you shouldn't be tweeting about that. And then, so a few weeks ago, I was really sick. I got sick for about 2 weeks. So Sarah tweeted, I've never heard such disgusting noises in my life. Hashtag slurping, hashtag sniffling, hashtag wussy cough, hashtag lip smacking. Help me and Emily. I'm sorry for being sick. I didn't want to be sick either. Here's another one about me being sick. You don't know the definition of struggle until you've had to sit in silence and listen to a sick person lift frosting off a spoon. Hashtag creature. I'm sorry for eating cream cheese frosting. I mean, like, it's college. You eat Nutella out of a jar. I'm allowed to eat cream cheese frosting out of a jar. It's my life. Stop judging me for who I am. Also, you know the definition of a struggle? Are you... Okay, let me ask you a question. Are you a woman whose husband abuses her every single night? Are you someone who has to deal with the fact that you're probably going to starve to death because your parents because you're homeless and your parents don't have jobs, and, like, I don't know. Listening to someone make noises is not the definition of a struggle. And by the way, can I add that Sarah makes really weird noises too? Like, when she's surprised, she says, like, wow, woo, wee, wah. And, like, you know what? I don't care. But if you're gonna judge me for being me, then, like, look at yourself. Someone asked her about her tweet, and she said, one of my roommates is a creature, an actual creature. Yeah, because I'm not a human freaking being. And then she said, she was forced upon us, and we've suffered ever since. Because you think that I like being here. This is, like, this isn't a definition of a struggle, but it's not easy living here. Another tweet that she said was, my creepy roommate stays up later than I do, and she doesn't even go out. Hashtag what is life? No comment. Just stop judging me for my lifestyles. And then the last one, it was tweeted like Friday, I think. She said, you are a horrible person, and I shudder when I think about how I live with you. And no, I don't mean Emily. How can you judge me? You don't know me. It's just, I don't understand how people can do that. And I've never, ever, ever experienced someone who can just say that they hate someone without even knowing them. And you know what? I don't even care what they think about me, because I am better than this. I am better than that, than caring about what two people who have clearly very different morals than I do. I don't care what they think about me. But just the idea that there are people like that in the world who will judge someone for who they are and for liking cream cheese frosting, it's disturbing, it's depressing, and college was not supposed to be such a rude awakening. So that's basically the story of how they have been awful to me since day one. And the good news is that I'm most likely 99% leaving this room tomorrow. I'm moving to another floor in my building. I'm so lucky that I have my friends and family who have been supporting me throughout all this drama and craziness, and they understand. And I slept in my friend's room the past 2 nights, and just thank you so much, Emily and Nicole. And just what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, and from this I'm gonna be a better person, and I'll move on with my life. Life goes on, despite having people who hate you and judge you. It doesn't matter what they think, because if you're a good person, it doesn't matter what others think. You could just be yourself, and that's okay. Or at least that's what I'd like to think. So, thank you for listening to this. Sorry for the crying. And just thank you. Bye.